Okay, so equation of a line. Come on, concentrate, Aman and Leah. Equation of a line states that every line has an equation. Was that? So whatever line you draw, it has an equation. If two lines are parallel to each other, will they have the same equation? No, they won't have the same equation. But if the lines are next to each other like this in a straight line, see like this, if they're, I mean, that's one continuous line only. So then they will have the same equation because it's one. See, the meaning of line is what? It doesn't have endings. Line segment has endings. In smaller classes, we have learned. Line has, I mean, if I have put 2 points at the end, then what is this called? Line segment. If I put point at one end and an arrow at the other end, means it's not ending at the other end, then what do you call that? See, this is line segment. Here it has one ending, but the other end is just moving, it's going on, there's no end. What do you call this? It's called a ray. Ray has a starting point but no ending, it keeps going. And if both the ends are going on without any end, then what do you call that? That's a line. Okay, so remember, even if you draw a small line, it doesn't mean it's ending at both the ends. It keeps going on and on. Okay, so when you draw a line also in this chapter, you might draw a different line, you might draw a different line, meaning the ending might be different, but it's the same line because it's going on and on. Okay, now suppose I give you an equation of a line. An equation of a line looks something like this. It will have an x term, it will have a y term, and it will have a number. It looks something like this. There is x coordinates, there's a y coordinate, and there is a number. Now take any point on this line, any coordinates. So say this point is 2, 3. Say this point is -5, 7. Right? Every point has coordinates. If these points lie on the line, then if you substitute these values in the equation, that is, if you put 2 in place of x and 3 in place of y, this equation will get satisfied. What did I say? If you take any point on the line and you substitute in this equation, the equation will get satisfied. Satisfied meaning its left side will be equal to the right side. Okay. So now I just gave a random point 2, 3. Check if this point lies on this line. How will you check? Substitute the values. 3 into 2 plus 4 into 3. Check if it is 5. Okay, so we're getting 6 plus 12. 6 plus 12, is it 5? No, it's not equal to 5, which means this point 2, 3 does not lie on the line. So that is the simplest type of question that can come in this chapter, to check if a point lies on a line. Now they can modify this question. They'll give you a point like this, k, 3, and they'll tell you this point lies on the line. It is on the line, find k. So what you'll do again? Substitute k in place of x, 3 in place of y, and in that equation k will be the missing value. You can find k. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah. Aman? Sure? Yes. Are you listening or not? Is there? But okay. Go to 14a. Open your textbooks. Chapter question. 14a. Okay. Look at the 6th question. Question number 6. Does the line 3x minus 5y equal to 6 bisect the join of 2 points? What does this mean? Does this line bisect the join of 5, -2 and -1, 2? What does it mean? See, it's confusing. You have to think. These are all words you know. You know what's the meaning of bisect? What is bisect? Huh? What? Tell loudly. Divides into 2 equal halves. So they're telling you, does this line bisect the join of this. Okay, now I don't want to explain into easy English. I want you to understand. So anyone understood what it is? If you're drawing a diagram, we will draw the 2 points. Okay, that is -1 comma 2 and 5 comma -2. So this is the line joining these 2 points. So they're saying, does this line, now this is another line. This is the line. They're saying, does this blue line bisect the red line? You understand? Does the blue line cut the red line into 2 equal halves? How will we prove this? Okay, what? First you find what? Midpoint of the blue line or the red line? See, the red line has 2 endings, which means it is a line segment. It has a midpoint. The blue line doesn't have a midpoint. Why? It's a line. It's not a line segment. It goes both ways. It never ends. Okay. So they're saying, does the blue line cut the red line into 2 equal halves? So first we need to find this midpoint of the red line. How will we find the midpoint of red line? Section formula? Midpoint formula. Right. Use the midpoint formula. Find this midpoint of the red line. Then you need to check if that point lies on this line. How will we do that? Substitute those 2 values in this equation and see if LHS is equal to RHS. Do you understand? Yes. Yeah. So the theory part is just that if you substitute a point in this equation, it will get satisfied. That's the only theory part you have learned. What else is there? Whatever else is remaining in this is logic and from the previous chapter. The midpoint, to find midpoint, that is from the previous chapter. The word bisects and all that, that is not intentional. That is just logic to understand that's a midpoint. And so you have to use your brain a lot here. Okay. All right. Solve this question, everyone. Tell me if the answer is yes or no. Okay, done. 8-1. Which one you doing? 8-1. The other one you got? Yes. You got this? What? Then what you did? Only XY you want? Yes. Very fast. Okay, man. Every sum that we're doing, no, go home and practice it at least 10 times. See, you have to reach the level of others. You got LHS equal to RHS? Okay. This question, so they're telling you this point lies on the line, right? So that means you substitute in this and you find the value of A. What is A? 4. Okay. So you can do these questions for homework. I'll tell you the questions. You can mark the questions. Point of intersection. Wait, let me just. Look at this 12th question. Show that the lines 1, 2, 3. There are 3 equations here. Show that the lines are concurrent. What's the meaning of concurrent? See, 1 line and 2 lines. Do 2 lines meet? Do 2 lines always meet or 2 lines never meet? Or how's it? Just rejoin the meeting, guys, fast. 2 minutes more and then I'll. In this case, concurrent means joining. Okay. So do 2 lines ever join? Yes, they join. It's a line. It keeps going. If you extend both the lines, eventually they will cross each other. So 2 lines are always concurrent? No. When is it not concurrent? If they are parallel. Opposite direction means parallel, no? Parallel. If they are parallel, they won't be concurrent. They will just slide past each other. Okay. So 2 lines are always concurrent. The question is, are these 3 lines concurrent? Means, okay, now suppose I draw a third line like this. Are they all concurrent? Means are they meeting at the same point? No. So if I move this here, now are they meeting at the same point? Yes. So that's a question. Are these three lines concurrent? How will we check that? They just gave three equations. Are they concurrent? How will you do it? Huh? So if they're concurrent, there is only one point where all these three lines meet. And that one point will have some coordinate, some x coordinate and some y coordinate. Okay, so if you solve any two of the equations, you will get the value of x and y. Yeah, so that is also another important point. Two lines have two equations. If you solve the two equations simultaneously, you will get x and y, right? That x and y is the intersection of these two lines. Do you know this? I'll say that once again. 8th standard, we did simultaneous equations. We just had an equation 3x plus 4y is equal to 5 and 7x minus 8y is equal to 8. When we solve these two simultaneous equations, we get the value of x and the value of y, right? What is this x and y? Now, according to simultaneous equation, if you substitute the value of x and y in the first equation, it will get satisfied. If you substitute this x and y in the second equation, that also will get satisfied. That's all you knew over there. But in this case over here in this chapter, what does this x and y represent? It represents a point of intersection of these two lines. You understand? Okay. So solving two of these equations, we will get the value for x and y. So that is a point of intersection of those two lines. Now, how do we check that if the third line also intersects those two lines? Substitute that x and y in the third equation. If it gets satisfied, that means this point passes through all the lines. I mean, the point is in all the three lines, which means it is a point of intersection. You understand? So there's a lot of logic that you have to use here. This is all not taught in this chapter. In this whole exercise, what is the only thing that you learned? That any point, if you substitute in this equation, it will get satisfied. That's the only thing I taught you. Whatever we're doing here is logics based on whatever you have learned in the past. Okay. Look at this, ninth question. The point P divides the join of 2, 1 and minus 3, comma 6 in the ratio 2 is to 3. See from which chapter this came? From the last chapter. Does P lie on the line this one? Okay, simple one. Tell what you have to do. Come on, read it and tell me if you didn't understand.
Where we have to find the coordinates of P and substitute in the equation.
Do you all get it or not? Someone tell me. If I didn't ask you, I said, yeah, I got it. Yes, see, there's a line. Let me draw this. Always draw, okay? If you don't understand the question, just draw it. The point P divides the join of this and this. Okay, there are 2 points. We'll call it A and B. And they're saying the point P divides this line. In the ratio, what? 2 is to 3. Then they're asking you, does this point P lie on this line? So there's another line here. So say that line is going like this. Okay, let's put it red. They're asking, is it like this? Does this point P lie on this line? Or is it like this? Does the point P not lie on the line? That's the question. So how will we do this, Aman? Yeah. How to do this?
Find P
How?
and
How do you find P?
midpoint of A.
It's not the midpoint. It's 2 is to 3. Section. Yeah, midpoint means 1 is to 1. Section means any other number. So using section formula, you will find the coordinates of P. Once you get the coordinates of P, substitute that P's coordinates in this red color line's equation. It should get satisfied. If it gets satisfied, that means that point P is on that line. Understand? What if the equation is not getting satisfied? What does it mean?
And that line is not
Or the point P is not on that line. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so I want you to solve as many questions as you can from the A exercise. Okay, case 5. The more you solve, the better for you. Okay, homework is not a task that I'm telling you to do. It is something that you do so that you clear up the chapter and keep on moving ahead. In fact, I will suggest you do all this and also do previous year's questions from whatever you have. And Amit, get that book back. Does anybody want 10 years book? If you want, take it. Okay. You bought the other book or you're not buying? Okay. So yeah, solve whatever you can, pass it around. Let everyone get a chance to solve questions from previous years. Okay. All right. So 14A is your homework. Is that clear? Tomorrow, do you have any bar practice or anything? Huh? Don't know or no? No. So tomorrow then see you at 5 o'clock. Okay.
Not tomorrow, same timing, right?
5, not 5:10. Okay, 5.
Okay.
All right, bye. Show that the points P, Q, and R are collinear. What is the meaning of collinear? 3 points are collinear means the 3 points are on a straight line. See? Here A, B, C are collinear. So how will you prove that A, B, and C are collinear or P, Q, R? We have not learned how to make equation of a line. The slope of what? Find slope of PQ. Find slope of QR. Both the slopes, if they are equal, what does it mean? No, they are parallel. So if this is PQ and this is QR and both their slopes are equal, it just means they are parallel. It doesn't mean they are touching. So how will we prove they are touching because it's Q. Point Q is the common point between PQ and QR. So we don't have to prove that they're touching because already there are three. The point Q is a common point. Okay, so we just have to show that M1 is parallel to M2. So since M1 and M2 are equal and Q is a common point, therefore PQR are on the same line. Okay. What if there were 4 points PQRS? Then you'll have to find PQ, QR, RS. All of them should be equal. And because the point Q and R are common points, they're on the same line. Okay. All right. So that should be enough for you to be able to do this whole exercise. That's it. Everything is based on slopes in this whole exercise. There are 21 questions here, and you have the weekend. I have 21. How many you have? 14. Okay. Good for you then. So do 14 questions over the next 2-3 days. Okay. At least 10 questions you should show me in the next class. Okay. Exercise 14B, no? Alright, your homework is to do at least 10 questions from 14B. Alright, we'll end with this. I'll see you all in the next class. Sunday, computer, 11:30. Alright, the next topic is inclination of a line. Inclination is just the angle of the line with the x-axis. So imagine this is the line, this pen. If the line is flat like this, then the angle with the x-axis is 0 degree. As you increase the angle like this, angle is theta, represented by the alphabet theta. So angle increases. So this is around 45 degrees. This is around 90 degrees. Then this is around, it increases above 90, 180 degree, and so on. Okay. So that's it. Inclination is theta, or the angle. Inclination is angle represented by theta. Now there's another word, slope. Slope is a number. It's not an angle. It's a number. It is a ratio between two things. Okay, so we'll see what that is. Now I'll just give you the answers for slope. You'll understand it, and then I'll explain more about it. So if the angle is 0, slope is also 0. As I increase the angle, slope also increases. If the angle is 90, what's the slope? Come here, Ryan. Okay, I was explaining the concept of inclination and slope. I'll say that again. Inclination is the angle of the line, of a line. 0 degree, 45, 90, 180 and so on. Slope is a ratio between two lines, which I will tell you afterwards, but for now. So if the theta is 0, if angle is 0, the slope is also 0. If theta is 45 degree, the slope is 1. So slope is between 0 and 1 over here. Now anything above 45 degree, the slope becomes more than 1. And if the angle is 90 degree like this, the slope is infinity. Infinity. Imagine a road like this. Can you go down this road? What's the slope on this road? It's infinity. You'll fall straight down. Like you can't stick on the road, you'll just fall down, right? So that is infinity. Okay, so slope is how? 0, 1. See, this is between 0 and 1. And above 1, it goes 1.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And finally, if it becomes 90 degree, the slope is infinity. Is that clear? Now, if you go on the other side, it goes into negative slope. So from 90 till 180, the slope is negative. And then we don't need to go there anyway. Our slopes are always calculated from 0 to 90. Okay, is that clear? Now, how do you find the slope? It's a ratio again. Look here. Slope of AC. AC is this line. Okay, to find the slope, the formula which you will not be using is the vertical rise divided by the horizontal rise. Vertical rise means this height AB. Horizontal distance is this height, this length BC. Okay, so you understand why it becomes. Okay, let's look at three slopes. For this line, what is theta and what is slope? Theta is 0 degree, slope is 0. Here theta is say 45 degree. What is the slope? 1. Here theta is 90 degree. What's the slope? Infinity. Do you remember any values in trigonometry that you learned last year where you have these numbers? Tan values. Tan 0 degree is 0. Tan 45 is 1. Tan 90 is infinity. So that's the formula to find slope. Just do tan theta. Okay. So slope is represented by the alphabet M. And to find M, the formula is tan theta. This is one formula. The second formula is actually, we are going to modify this vertical rise divided by the horizontal rise. Okay. So anyway, you do this first, write down this formula. I'll give you some sums using this, and then I'll show you the second formula. Look at the first question. Do 1 and 2. Question 14b, 1 and 2 after you write down the formula for slope. Heading you write.
Which formula for inclination?
Find the slope of the line whose inclination is given. Inclination means theta. Slope is a number. Formula to find slope is M, which is tan theta. Done? Okay, did you get this slope of this line whose inclination is 0 degree? Yes. Answer is 0. And 30 degrees? 1 upon 2. No? 1 by root 3. Yeah, correct. Bye. Okay, now what about these values? 72 degree, 30 minutes. How will we find that? From the textbook? No, you have the table behind the book. You checked? Yeah, so for numbers that is not in the table.
Sorry, that's 46.
Okay, see, we know the values for tan 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Tan 0 is how much? 0, by the way, these are degree. Okay, what is tan 0 degree? 0. Tan 30 degree? 1 by root 3. Tan 45 degree? Tan 60 degree? tan 90 degree
Infinity.
infinity. So these values we have, but if it's some other numbers that is not in this, we need the table. Okay, now the second question is the opposite way. Find the inclination, means you have to find the angle and they've given the slope. So again the formula m is equal to, can't walk.
Remove metals from your hair? What?
So how do you find these values now? So you'll have to look in the textbook for these numbers in the table. Okay, let's see the first one. So they have given the slope. So 0 is equal to tan theta. So theta is equal to tan inverse of 0. Okay, that is when you take tan to the other side, it becomes tan inverse. So you have to see which value of which theta has tan. No, what? Yeah, in this table, which 0 is which angle? Wait, this will confuse you. You just see like this. Finished? Okay. So they have given the slope 0. So you write like this. 0 is equal to tan what? 0 is equal to tan 0 degree. Therefore, theta is equal to 0 degree. Okay. Next one is root 3. So root 3 is equal to tan what? Tan 60. Therefore, theta is 60 degree. Now for these values 0.7646, you have to look at the table. Just open your book and see in the tan table, see where is 7646.
So 24. 24.
Tan 24 degree. Did you all see it?
Yeah. 37 degree.
24 degree or 37?
37.
Okay. So it is tan 37. How you say 24? You said 24 degree first.
24-inch.
24.
So it's 37 degree 24
dash.
minutes. That's minutes. Correct? Therefore theta is equal to 37 degree 24 minutes. Is that clear how to do it?
Yes.
Okay, just write down these answers. Okay, so one formula to find m is tan theta. There's another formula to find m. Second formula to find m. This formula is used if they have given 2 points, coordinates of 2 points. See, look at this question 3. Find the slope of the line passing through the following pairs of points. So when they give two points, then we have to use another formula. The formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So use this formula and find the slope of this first line. Find the slope of this first 2 points. The first point x1 y1, second point's coordinates are x2 y2. Substitute that in the formula and find. Minus 2 minus minus 3 is what?
Yes, better sign.
What is 2 minus minus 3?
5.
How?
Because minus.
Yeah, see, you have to do in 2 steps. First step, 2 minus minus 3, and this is 1 minus minus 2. So 2 minus minus 3 means 2 plus 3. There is no minus sign only. Minus minus is plus. And 1 minus minus 2 means 1 plus 2. So there is no minus. So 2 plus 3 is what, Aman? 5. And 1 plus 2 is?
3.
That's it. There is no minus only. Is that clear? You have to do in 2 steps if you're getting confused. Okay, second one is 2 points. Again, first point is this, second point is origin. Origin means 0, 0. Third point, they have not given numbers, they have given A and B. It's okay, same formula, put the values and you see what happens. Okay, do this third one? Interchange these two. What will that become? Interchange A and B. What will that become?
B minus A.
B minus A. And what's the denominator?
B minus
Numerator and denominator is same. We can cut it.
1.
1. Understand? So you're not cutting because there is minus A and minus A. You're cutting because the numerator and denominator is the same. So it cuts and becomes 1.
Now what if they're not the same?
Then you can't cut. Then you just leave it as it is. Okay, in this case, fortunately, they were the same, so you can cut it. Okay, now talking about slopes. If there are two lines that are parallel to each other, what do you think their slopes will be? If two lines are parallel to each other, any relationship with their slopes? Okay, how do you find the slope of the first one is? You need to have theta. Second one also, if you draw the x-axis, you have theta. Both the thetas will be same because the two lines are parallel to each other. Therefore, their slopes will be same. Understand? If the first one's slope, we'll call it m1, and the second line's slope, we'll call it m2. m1 will be equal to m2. Okay, so remember this. For parallel lines, their slopes will be equal. Is that clear? Makes sense, no? If there are two roads in campus, both have the same slope. Slopes are equal, no? If the inclination is same, the slopes are the same. Okay, now what if two lines are perpendicular to each other? That means, say one line is here, and the line is like this. So both the lines are perpendicular to each other. Will their slopes be equal? Huh? Yes? So if one line is like this and one line is like this, both of them will have the same slope over. No, what's the slope of this line which is flat, horizontal? 0. What's the slope of this line? Infinity. How are you saying the slopes are equal then? They're not equal. No, put it in. They can go first. So any relationship, yeah, there is one relationship. So say the slope of the first line is m1 and the slope of the second line is m2. The relationship between both is m1 into m2 is equal to minus. Yeah, m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Why is this useful? When would we use this? Suppose you have two lines that are parallel and you know the slope of one line, then you know the slope of the second line. Same way here also. If two lines are perpendicular and you know the slope of one line, you put that in this formula and you can find the slope of the second line. Write this down. Okay, so let's do this question 5. See 4 and 5. See the fourth question. Find the slope of a line parallel to AB if A and B are given. So find the slope of AB. Which formula should we use to find the slope of AB? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Once you find the slope of AB, then you know the slope of the line parallel to AB. It will be the same. In the question 5, find the slope of a line perpendicular to AB. So find AB first, slope of AB, and then put in this formula here. Okay. Alright, so do one question from each. From 4 you do 2, and from 5 also you do 2. Okay, 4, 2. What is the slope of the line? M1 was minus 4. Therefore M2? M2 is also same, minus 4. Second one, what is M1?
1.
Find the slope.
Minus 1 and 2.
M1 is first
Minus 1.
minus 1. And M2 is 1. The formula M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1, right? And we have M1. Substitute the value of M1. So minus 1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. Therefore M2 is equal to minus 1 divided by minus 1, which is 1. Okay. Let me give you a few examples of perpendicular slopes, slopes of perpendicular lines. Suppose one line has a slope of 3, then what will be the slope of the second line? So the formula is m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. That means 3 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So m2 is minus 1 upon 3. So this is an easy thing. See, remember, if m1 is 3, m2 slope is reciprocal it and change its sign. That's all. You have to show it, okay? But still in your mind you can do it. Reciprocal it and change its sign. So minus 1 upon 3. Let me ask you some more. Don't without the formula now. If m1 is 4, then what is m2? Minus 1 upon 4. What if m1 is minus 5? Then m2 is 1 upon 5. Minus will become plus. What if m1 is 1 upon 3? Then m2 is minus 3. What if m1 is minus 1 upon 6? Then m2 is 6. You understand? Reciprocal and change the sign. Okay, even though you know it in the mind, you still have to show it using this formula. Is that clear, everyone? Aman, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll do some other questions where we use this concept. Okay, look at 7th question. The line passing through this point and this point is perpendicular to the line passing through this point and this point. Find A. Okay, tell me, what did you understand? Okay, anyone? The line passing, huh? Okay, there are two lines. There's one line and you have the 2 points, minus 4, minus 2, and here it is 2, minus 3. So the line passing through these 2 points, that's what we drew, is perpendicular to a line passing through a comma 5 and 2 comma minus 1. Always draw diagrams, it becomes easy. Alright, so we have to find this A. How do we find A? See, you know the two lines are perpendicular, so you know the relationship between their slopes. So find their slopes. Find the slope of the first line, we'll call it m1. Find the slope of the second line, we'll call it m2. Now m2 you won't get a proper number because there is A. You'll get it in terms of A. And then we apply this in the formula m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So A will be the only missing value. You can find that A. Is that clear, everyone? Do it. Okay, I hope all of you got A is equal to 3. 9th question. We'll just discuss this. How do we do this? Without using distance formula, you have to prove that these are the vertices of a parallelogram. If you're able to use distance formula, how would we do it? Suppose they don't say this rule. See, this is a parallelogram, and you have all the points. Okay, A, B, C, D. How would you prove that this is a parallelogram? Okay, you'll find the length of AB using distance formula. You'll find the length of DC. They should be same. Then same way you'll find AD and BC. They should also be same. Then you will also find diagonals, and they should not be same. Correct. What if the diagonals were same? Then what shape would that be? Rectangle. Correct, no? So these type of questions are not there for you. That is in 9th standard. I don't know if you remember. Did we do this? We have done this type of questions where you use the distance formula to prove that something is a whatever shape.
A, B, C are the vertices of triangle.
A, B and C are the 3 vertices of a triangle. Find the slope of the altitude of AB. What does it mean? Find the slope of the altitude of AB. So if I'm drawing the triangle like this randomly, if this is A, B, C, what does it mean to find the slope of the altitude of AB? What is the altitude of AB? The height from AB. So if this is AB, the height from here will be a perpendicular line from AB. This should be perpendicular to AB. So height, the slope of the altitude of AB. So this is the altitude of AB. Let's call it P, PC. PC is the altitude of AB. How do you find this one's slope?
Finding the coordinates of
Hmm?
finding the coordinates of P.
How will you find the coordinates of P?
AB is partial from
Formula.
What is the ratio between AP and PB?
no using midpoint formula.
But is it the midpoint? P is not the midpoint.
Yes.
So what is the ratio then? If you're using section formula, you need the ratio, right? AP is to PB. What's the ratio? We don't have the ratio. So we don't know the ratio between AP and PB. So we can't find P. Right? Then what to do?
More line.
Hmm? That is for next question. There are 3 subparts. That is for another question. What we know is that this line PC, it's called a median. The median is perpendicular to AB. And you have to find the slope of PC. Didn't get? I'll say it once again. You cannot find P. The only thing you know is that PC is perpendicular to AB.
N1 into N2 is equal to this. So if we multiply PB into PA, we will get what is it?
If you multiply what?
PB, PA and PB.
PA and PB.
Yes.
PA and PB are parallel to each other. Their slopes are equal. We cannot find the coordinates of P. Okay. What we know is we know the coordinates of A and B. We can find the slope of AB, right? If you have the slope of AB, then we can find the slope of PC, because those two slopes are perpendicular to each other. Take the slope of AB as M1 and take the slope of PC as M2. What we know about M1 and M2? M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So if you have M1, we can find M2. That's how we find the slope of this PC. Not by the 2 points. I mean, that way we don't even know a formula. We know only 2 formulas to find the slope. One is that M is equal to tan theta. And here we don't have theta, so we can't use that. The second formula to find M is what? Y2 minus Y1 upon x2 minus x1. Now you were thinking of using this formula by finding the coordinates of P. Then we have P and C, we can find the slope. But we can't use this formula. Why? Because we don't have the coordinates for P. So the only way is by using this formula here. By finding slope of AB and then finding the slope of PC by applying it in this formula. Is that clear, everyone? Same way, second question, find the slope of median AD. What is median AD? See, altitude is different, median is different, okay? I think I made a mistake. I said PC is the median. PC is not median, PC is altitude. Altitude is perpendicular to the base. Let me draw a different triangle and show you what's the difference between altitude and median. Okay? Okay, if this is a triangle and I'm drawing altitude from this point A, altitude will be like this, perpendicular to the base. And median is a line joining A to the midpoint of BC. If this point is the midpoint of BC, then this line is called the altitude. I mean median. This is altitude. Altitude is perpendicular to the base. Median is what? Median joins the midpoint of BC. Is that clear? So median, since it joins a midpoint, we'll call it M, we can find the midpoint of BC. Right? Okay. So coming back to our question here, they're asking you the slope of the median AD, which is the median AD. So A to D. Where is D? Midpoint of BC. Altitude is like this, perpendicular to BC. Median is midpoint like this. Okay, now how do we find the slope of this AD? Since D is the midpoint of BC,
Using midpoint formula.
Yeah, use midpoint formula, find D. And now we have A and we have D. We can find the slope using this y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Next, the slope of the line parallel to AC. So AC is over here. There's another line parallel to AC. How do you find the slope of this line? Finding AC slope. That same slope will be for this parallel line, because parallel lines have equal slopes. Correct? Did you all understand how to do this question? You can write down hints if you want. You can just write down hints. Don't solve it now. You need to move ahead. What are you asking? Okay, just write down. I'll give you 1 minute to write down the hints.
She's trying to.
This one? Okay, question 10. So they've given four points. They are the vertices of a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral means four-sided shape, right? Any random four-sided shape. Show that the quadrilateral obtained by joining the midpoints of its sides is a parallelogram. It's a direct question, right? You have 4 points. Okay. I'm just joining them so that you can see and understand what it means. What they're saying, show that the quadrilateral obtained by joining the midpoints of its sides. So all these sides you need to find their midpoints. Now when you join, let's keep on the dining table. When you join these midpoints, what will happen? The shape that you get is a parallelogram. That you have to show. So what are the properties of this parallelogram regarding this chapter? But how do we find sides? Then distance formula. Here we are not using distance formula. Parallel sides. Opposite sides are parallel. So find the slope of this, find the slope of these. They both should have the same slope. Then find the slope of this side and this side. They both also should have the same slopes. That's how you prove that it's a parallelogram. So a lot of things you have to do. First what you have to do is find the midpoints. 4 midpoints. 4 times you have to use midpoint formula. Then you have to find all those 4 lines slopes. And 2 of the slopes should be equal. 2 pairs. So it's a long question. Is everyone clear of this 10th question? Okay, write down the hint. Solve it later on. Any other doubt from this chapter, anyone? Okay, first note this down. Okay, 21 question. Find the values of K so that PQ will be parallel to RS. Okay, so I think you've understood the question, just that this one's values are a little complex. So what you have to do, PQ is parallel to RS. So that means the slope of PQ and the slope of RS will be equal. Okay. So now in the third question, P and Q, you have their values. So we can find the slope of PQ. Now RS also has the same slope, but RS we don't have the coordinates. So we need to find that K. Okay, so you try solving it. You got some mistake?
No, I don't know what to do.
Show it to me. The rest of you do this right now. 21-3. First find the slope of PQ, then RS also has the same slope. Using that slope, find K.
And then find the slope of RS also.
It's the same slope, no? RS? No, they didn't ask RS. Oh, RS. Yeah, RS. Sorry, I wrote wrong. Yeah, slope of RS will be same as PQ, no? Because they are parallel to each other. So we have the slope.
Actually, even though you did good.
What's the slope of PQ? 11 minus 1, 6 minus 12. What is 11 minus 1? 11 minus means 11 plus, no? Minus will become plus. What?
Well, last time I plus 18, but it should be minus. If it is minus 11, then it will be plus.
No, you're getting confused between the minus signs. When there's two minuses next to each other, minus minus will become plus. If the minus is minus 11 minus 1, then what is minus 11 minus 1?
Now minus 12.
What is 11 minus minus 1?
Even minus 10.
Minus minus means plus. So 11 minus minus means 11 plus 1. It's 12. Yeah. So what is k? Get the values of k. So here
K is equal to 6, or K is equal to plus 2.
6 and 2
Minus 6 and plus 2.
minus 6 plus 2. Okay. So we're getting a quadratic equation over here. K square plus 4k minus 12 is equal to 0. So we have to split this term. Okay, the sum is equal to 4 and the product is equal to minus 12. So your two numbers are 6 and minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4 and 6 into minus 2 is 12. So k square plus 6k minus 2k minus 12 is equal to 0. From the first two terms k is common. So if we take k common outside, we'll have k plus 6. And from the next two terms minus 2 is common. So that's k plus 6 again in the bracket. So k plus 6 into k minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore k is equal to minus 6 or k is equal to plus 2. Now what does k represent here? Yeah, what is k? It's a point, it's a coordinate. So can k be both minus 6 and 2 or only plus 2? Or can it be both? Why?
Because the coordinates of K.
Because k represents a point on the graph, and points can be positive and negative also, right? So you can have both values for k. If k was something like age, then it has to be positive. If it was the side of a triangle, it has to be positive. So there are some cases where your quadratic equations, roots of the equation, they are called, right? You learn, no? Quadratic. They cannot be negative in some cases, but here they can be both positive and negative. Alright, so that's your answer. Shall we go to the next? Okay, so now if this is your x-axis, y-axis, and this is your x-axis, and say the line, this is a line. Okay, say the coordinates of this point is 4, 0, and this one will be say 0, 3. All right. Now this point here, we'll call this point A. The point A is on the y-axis. So there's a word called the y-intercept. The y-intercept is this distance from 0 till that point. That distance is called the y-intercept. So here in this case, what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept will be 3. It is also the y-coordinate of the point. Understand? 3 is the distance. Same way, this distance from 0, from the origin till this point is called the x-intercept. Yeah, the x-intercept will be 4. That is the x-coordinate of this point. Okay. Now, x-intercept is not used anywhere, but we use the y-intercept. Alright, just draw this one first. Then we will see what is equation of a line. That's the next topic. Okay, now the next most important part of this chapter is to find the equation of a line. Till now, what all we have done? The first part of the chapter, what we did, what we found.
X and 9 would get in problem, that equations.
Okay, to check if a point lies on a line. Huh? or bisects. Yeah, so that was bisecting was using midpoint and all, but the concept that you learned in the A part was to show that a point lies on a line, and every line is represented with an equation. That equation is called equation of a line. Then in the next part we learned about slopes, to find slope and relationship between slopes of parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Now here we are learning about how to create an equation of a line. Okay, there are three ways to create an equation of a line. The first way to create an equation of a line is using slope and intercept. When we say intercept, we are always talking about y-intercept. As I said, we don't use the x-intercept anywhere, we use the y-intercept. Now slope is represented by which alphabet? M. Right, we did that before, right? And the y-intercept is represented by, you know which alphabet? C. Okay, y-intercept is represented by C. Now there's a relationship between this M and C. The relationship is like this: y is equal to mx plus c. If you remember this in school, okay. So y is equal to mx plus c is the y-intercept form, I mean the slope-intercept form to get the equation of a line. Y and x we leave it as it is, because see, every equation of a line has that x and y in it, right? So leave x and y as it is. You will only substitute the values for m and c. So if you have the slope and the y-intercept of the line, you just put those two values in this formula and you will get the equation of a line. You understand? If you have m and you have c, substitute those two values in this form and you will get the equation of a line. Okay, so look at some of the questions that come using this.
And if we don't have the values,
Then you can't use this form. Like if you have m and c, then only you can use this form to find the equation of a line. For example, look at the first question. What is given? They're saying find the equation of a line whose y-intercept is 2 and slope is 3. So we have what all? Y-intercept means c. C is 2 and slope means m. M is 3. So we substitute these two values in the formula, we'll get what? Y is equal to 3x plus 2. That's the equation of the line. You can rearrange it, put 3x, the x terms and y terms and the number terms all on one side. If you do that, take the y on the right side, we'll get what? 3x minus y plus 2 is equal to 0. This is another way of writing it. Or there's one more way of writing where you have x and y terms on one side and the plus 2 take it on the right side, minus 2. These are three ways of writing the equation of a line. Any way you can write and your answer will be correct. The most common way is this last one, where x and y is on one side and the number is on the other side. If you write it like this, where y is alone on one side, then that's called the y-intercept form. All three are equation of a line, but this first one is called the y-intercept form. Check your answer behind and see in which form they wrote the answer. Exercise 14C, this one. Okay, so in the second question, again find the equation of a line, and the two what is given here is the y-intercept form and inclination. Inclination means theta. Yeah, so using theta we can find the slope. What's that formula? M is equal to tan theta. So we can find m, tan 45. Tan 45 is how much? 1. So we can find m, and we have c. Put the values in the formula. So tell me, what will that be? C is minus 1 and m is 1. So y is equal to mx plus c. So y is equal to 1 into x, that is x, minus 1. C is minus 1. That's your answer. Or if you want to write it the other way, where you take y on the other side, x minus y minus 1 or equal to 1. Correct? Okay. Write down this much. Okay, look at the third question now. Look at the third question. Find the equation of a line whose slope is minus 4 upon 3. So they give m, which passes through minus 3 comma 4. So they gave a point. You have to find the equation of a line. But what is given here now? slope and point. The formula that we had was we need slope and y-intercept,
So we are
or even slope and theta. If theta is given, we find the m, and then we can use this formula. But here it is slope and
4.
point. Huh? Correct.
Intercept is 4.
There's no y-intercept. No. This is not y-intercept. Y-intercept will have 0, 4. Then it is y-intercept. Yeah, they gave two. They gave a point. So for that, there's another formula. Okay, the formula is called point slope form. See what this is? Slope intercept. The next formula is called point slope. So point slope means if they give the point and slope. So this is the formula here. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So y and x you leave it as it is. x1 y1 is that point, whichever is given, and m is the slope. Is that clear, everyone? So to solve this one, I'll just come in a minute. Find the equation of a line. Slope is given, that means m, and this point is x1 y1. Yeah, what's the answer?
Plus 3y is equal
4x plus 3y is equal to?
0.
Did you all get that? You didn't get that? What did you get?
I got 3y 4x plus I got 3.
Tell again.
3y minus 4x is equal to minus 4x plus 3.
Sure.
Not like that.
That's what he said.
3y is equal to minus 4x
Minus 4x.
plus 3.
3y is equal to minus 4x
Plus 3.
plus 3. Sure, bring. Y minus y. Where's this y1?
y1 is like 3. So I took it that way.
Where you took it?
This.
First you substitute, no, normally. Why are you doing extra work? Y minus.
y1 I didn't do.
Where's y1? 4. y1 is 4. There's a 4. You didn't substitute correctly. Do substitution correctly. Okay, anyway, this is the second type where they give point slope. I mean, they do that later. The third type is where they give you 2 points, point. Okay, so for using point, we don't have a separate formula. We have this one formula only. So using those 2 points, what we'll do is first we'll find the slope. We know that formula to find m. M is equal to what? If you have 2 points, how do we find the slope? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Find that slope and then you put it in this point slope formula. Is that clear? Okay. Just a revision of all the 3 ways to find the equation of a line. First is the slope intercept form. This is if you have m and c. Sometimes you will have m and instead of m you will have theta, but you can find m and then you can use this form, y is equal to mx plus c. The second formula is if they give you a point and a slope, then we have this direct formula where y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. We substitute the values of m and x1 y1. Then if they give you 2 points, actually we can do one thing, we can make a formula. In place of m you put that formula. So substitute the values over here. Y minus y1 is equal to, in place of m what we'll put? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Now what we can do is take this y2 minus y1 on the left side. So we'll have y minus y1 upon y2 minus y1, and on the right side we have all the x terms. That is, numerator we have x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1. So if you want, we can consider this as a new formula and directly substitute, or if you don't want, forget this, just use the same formula, find m separately and then substitute in this. Is that clear? Now 7-8 years ago you had this formula written in your textbook, it was there, but then they just took it off. They said like, okay, don't use this, use the previous formula itself, but it's the same. You understanding? Okay, so I want you to do one question. Do this 5th and 6th in my book. Do both 5, 1 and 2. They have given 2 points and you have to find the equation. So first from the 2 points you will find m and then substitute m and any one of the point in this. You have 2 points. You don't need both the points, right? Substitute any one of the point in place of x1 and y1. Alright, do 5 and then do 6. Yes, slope is called gradient and the angle inclination. Okay, 5th one, anyone got? Both? 6th one? 6th, third one, the coordinates of the point where PQ intersects the x-axis. So if this is PQ, they're saying what is a point at what point does the line intersect the x-axis? So what do we know about the x-axis? X comma 0, its y coordinate is 0. So we need to find this x coordinate. You have the equation of the line PQ, right? In the equation of the line you just substitute y value as 0 and find x. You got what's the equation of this line PQ?
5y minus x
Is equal to 8.
28.
28.
28.
What did you get? Huh? Okay. Whatever equation you get, maybe x is first, y is second, or however it is, it's okay. So in this equation you will just put the 0 in place of y and find out what is x. Then you will get the coordinate of that point where the line intercepts the x-axis. Intersects. Okay, did anyone get the value of x? Minus 28. Anyone has any doubt, please ask. I think we'll go to the next one. Those of you who didn't finish, please complete it later on. Look at this 15th question in my book. Find the equation of a line whose x-intercept is 5 and y-intercept is 3. We don't have any formula when they give y-intercept and x-intercept, right? We have formulas if they give m and c, m and point and 2 points. So what do we do here now when they give x-intercept and y-intercept? So whenever you have any doubt and not understanding, you try drawing the diagram. So if this is your x-axis and your y-axis, the x-intercept is 5. That means 5 and y-intercept is 3, like this. So that means the line is passing through these 2 points. Understand? Okay. So do we know the actual coordinate of this and this point now? Okay, what is this coordinate of this first point? It's 0, 3, right? 0 on the x-axis, 3 on the y-axis. And the second point would be 5, 0. So now we have 2 points. We can use a 2-point formula. Do you understand? So there's no special formula or anything. You're converting it into a 2-point formula, which means first you will find the slope, and then second you'll use the equation of a line formula, which is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Clear? M formula is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, do this. Find the slope first and then substitute in the second formula and get the equation of the line. Is it in your book? Do this one, everyone. So slope you got minus 3 upon 5. Did anyone get this answer? 3x plus 5y is equal to 9. What's your equation of a line? Tell me what all you got. Same thing? Others? Amit, tell me what you got. Just read it.
5y plus 3x is equal to
15. Huh? It's correct.
You put the wrong value of y1.
Oh. No, wait, I took. Oh, yeah, correct. Alright. Yeah, substitution is wrong. So, yeah, see, best not to not make a mistake, you write the values here y1, x1, whatever you're taking, and then you substitute. Okay, so y1 I took correct 0. For x1, I was supposed to take 5, but I took 3. Okay. But you also made the same mistake. What, Guru? Yeah, so 3x plus 5y is equal to 15. Now in this exercise you will see questions based on whatever you studied before also, like parallel lines, perpendicular lines. Okay, so try out as many questions as you can from this exercise. There's a lot of questions here, 25 questions, 23 in my book. In your book, how many questions do you have? 22 questions. Okay, so at least 10-15 questions you should be able to solve from this. Alright, we'll stop with maths. We'll just start a little bit of chemistry. You have chemistry?
Biology.
You all have biology? You? What we doing in biology? Circulatory system. Okay, take out circulatory system then. You all rejoin the meeting. Okay, this question 8. The figure given alongside shows two straight lines AB and CD intersecting each other at the point P. Find the equations of AB and CD. Okay, so how do we do this? Finding the equations of both these lines. So if you have the angle is also called as, it's another word for angle. Theta is to represent it, but there's a word for it, no? Inclination. Inclination. Inclination, yeah. Alright, so if you have the angle, we can find the slope. The formula for that is m is equal to tan theta. Right, so we can find the slope of both these lines. Alright, so what all do we have now? We have the slope and we have one point. Can we use slope and point to find the equation of a line? Yes, we have a slope point formula. We
Yes,
have
sir. We can find.
point. What is the formula? Slope point formula? Aman?
Y
Wait, Aman, tell me. If you have slope and point, how will you find the equation of a line? You're not ready for today's class. Means you have not done the homework. If you've done the homework, you should know the formulas. What is the formula? There's no point. You should be ready for today's class. Where will tell me the formula?
Y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1.
This is the formula. So the point is represented as x1 comma y1 and the slope is represented as m. So you will substitute the values of m and these 2 points in this formula and you will get the equation of the line. So like that you can get both the equations of the lines. Okay, any other doubt?
Yes, sir. 10th question in your book.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 10th question. The following figure shows a parallelogram ABCD whose side AB is parallel to the x-axis and angle A which is 60 degree and vertex C which is 7 comma 5. Find the equations of BC and CD. Okay, equation of BC. How?
B is angle 60.
Like is AB slope at this is difference.
AB and DC are parallel to each other, so their slopes are same. In fact, their slope is 0 because they are parallel to the x-axis. Any line parallel to the x-axis has a slope of 0. Okay, they're asking you the equation of BC. So angle is 60 degree. Right, if we extend this line, then this angle is also 60 degree. So we have angle, which means from theta we can find m. So we have slope and we have a point. So again same formula, slope point formula, you'll find the equation of BC. Is that clear, Ahmed? Hey,
Yes, sir.
turn your cameras on everyone. Ahmed, I'm not going to answer any more questions until your camera is on. Everyone come online. Next, find the equation of CD. CD. Okay, how do you find equation of CD? Again, for CD we have the slope is 0 and we have one point C. That's it. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone else, any doubt? Which one here? Okay, question 19 here. Find the equations of the line passing through the point this and equally inclined to the coordinate axis. What is coordinate axis? Huh? Signs of what? No, that's not reflection. They're just asking you find the equations of the lines. How many lines? There's multiple lines. Okay, there's not one equation passing through the point minus 2 comma 0. So minus 2 comma 0 is somewhere over here and equally inclined to the coordinate axis. Equally inclined to the coordinate axis means one line will be parallel to the x-axis, one line will be parallel to the y-axis. Find the equation of the lines passing through the point minus 2 comma 3 and equally inclined to the coordinate axis. So one line is like this and the other line is like this. So you have to find the equation of both these lines.
Where did that trigger come from?
I press shift 5 times.
Can you try? Wow.
Okay, good. Okay, so how do you find the equation of this blue line? So we have one point which is minus minus 2 comma 0. So we have one point and we have the slope. What's the slope of this blue line? The slope of the blue line is 0. And what's the slope of this vertical line? Huh? Infinity. See, because here theta is 0, so tan 0 is 0. Here theta is 90 degree. What is tan 90? Infinity, right? So the slope of this line is infinity.
A few months before, I mean last year, I was asking, do your students know that the heat is actually an uncountable?
They know it. They have learned that. When they were small. Okay, is everyone clear of this? So here, what was the words coordinate axis? What's the meaning of the word coordinate axis?
X and Y coordinates.
X and Y axis. The x-axis is called the coordinate axis. Both axis is plural of axis. Axis is singular, axis is plural. Okay, so coordinate axis is both x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, any other doubt from this exercise? Anyone? Doubts? Karan, you have not done so many. So you will not have doubt until you do them. See, she had only one doubt, it's cleared. You all I don't know what to ask because you have not done it. Okay? You had one day holiday also yesterday. Still you could finish it. Getting punishment today. You'll get. Amit, how many questions have you done?
Sir, 20.
20. Okay. Sneha, how many have you done? Nathan?
8.
8. You have to send it to me. Sneha, send me a picture of all the questions that you have done. Right after the class, you have to send me. Okay? Nathan, how many have you done? Nathan is stuck. This chapter is over in school, no? Not over? So we are not behind in maths. Absent, eh? That's why.
I found this in the play. I remember reading.
Okay, so there is no more theory in this chapter. That's all the formulas, that's everything that you need to know. So what all have we seen in this chapter from the beginning? Tell me. First, what did we see? Revision of this chapter. What all we saw first? What is in the first exercise?
So that lies that X and Y lies on that line or not.
Okay, a point x comma y lies on a line. How do we prove this? Is by substituting in equation, right? You can prove that a point lies on a line by substituting that value in the equation. That is what we did in the first exercise. In the second exercise, what we did? Okay, we learned about m. We studied everything about m, the formulas for m, the relationship between two lines if they are parallel and if they are perpendicular to each other. Okay. Third exercise, what did we study? Equation of line. Okay, how to find equation of a line? So there were three ways to find the equation of a line. What is the first way to find equation of a line is if you have m and c. That is called the y-intercept form. If you have slope and the y-intercept. The second way to find equation of a line was slope point. If you have m and a point x1 comma y1, and the third one was if you have 2 points.
Guess how I made a square? I think this can be a square.
Alright, so this was everything that this whole chapter had. Okay, now there are two more exercises, so let's do some questions from here and see what is here now. Okay, look at the second question, 14D, question number 2. Okay, the equation of a line is x minus y is equal to 4. Find its slope and y-intercept. Also find its inclination. So now they've given the equation And from that equation you have to find slope and y-intercept. How will we do this? Okay, so look here. If we have m and c, we can find the equation of a line, right? So we'll do the other way now. If we have the equation of a line, we can find m and c. M is the slope, c is the y-intercept. That's what they're asking, right? They've given the equation of a line and they're asking to find its slope and the y-intercept. So how do we do this? You have to convert this equation into the y-intercept form. Okay, so x minus y is equal to 4. Write this as the y-intercept form. Convert to y-intercept form. Means make y the subject. So if you make y the subject, take y on that side, 4 on this side, what will we get? Y is equal to
Y is equal to x minus 4.
x minus 4. See, now this is of the form y is equal to mx plus c. We have written it in the y-intercept form. So what is m and what is c? M is whatever is multiplied with x. So here what is multiplied with x?
1.
And what is c?
4.
Minus 4. That's your answer. Slope is 1 and the y-intercept is minus 4. Is everyone clear?
And inclination is 45 degree.
Yes.
So is your turn?
Okay, I'll just explain this again. Gloria, stay online. For that you need to keep your camera on. Okay. So what was the thing? If they've given an equation of a line like x minus y is equal to 4 and they're asking find its slope and y-intercept. Okay, so you have to convert this equation into the y-intercept form. That is, make y the subject. So y is equal to x minus 4 is what we get. So this is comparable to the equation of a line, to the y-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So m is what is multiplied with x, that is 1, and c is the number part, which is minus 4.
Take a pic.
Take your tablet. Or take my phone. I'm in class. Please don't trouble here. Okay, so what we saw here is, if we convert an equation of a line to the y-intercept form, we can find m and c. That's what we have seen in this question. If we convert an equation into the y-intercept form, we can find out what is m and what is c. Alright, next question. Now write down this first and then see the third question.
With the current I take it to the wall and it's an ultraviolet light. Which one? Space it to the wall and try. Face it to the wall or something white. It's my balls.
Okay, question number 3(1). Is the line, this one, equal to 0 perpendicular to this line? Okay, they're giving two equations of the line and asking if they're perpendicular. Aman, how do we do this?
We have to find the m of both the lines and then we have to multiply to see that it gets satisfied or not.
Okay, correct. Tell me, Aman.
Find n
How?
yes, so from
Huh?
y is equal to x minus 1.
But what is x1, y1? We don't have those values. We don't have any points. How will you find the slope?
Formula
Which formula? Formula itself.
y minus y1
What is y1? We don't have any point. Y1 is a point. We don't have point. Beryl, tell me, how do we solve this? Yes, convert it into the y-intercept form, just like what we did now. When we convert any equation into the y-intercept form, we can find m and c. That's what we learned just now. So convert it into the y-intercept form, find the m of both the equations like that. And then put it in the formula m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Because if two lines are perpendicular, their slopes should satisfy this formula. Okay, do it everyone. Amit, Ryan, Sneha, why are you taking the risk of getting kicked out? Because you know that I won't. Ryan, where are you, man? Done? I'm writing the questions here, which we'll do. Can start doing. I'll just come in a minute. Okay, anyone has any doubt? 3-1 is done? Huh? Which one? Huh? See, 3-1, you have to convert this line into the y-intercept form, right? So 3x plus 4y plus 7 is equal to 0. How do you convert it into the y-intercept form? Is make y the subject. So 4y is equal to, take 3x and 7 to the other side, so you'll get minus 3x minus 7. Then take the 4 on that side. So y is equal to minus 3x upon 4 minus, like you have to take the 4, okay, so it's like this, minus 3x minus 7 whole divided by 4, right? But we need this 4 separately for both. So y is equal to minus 3x upon 4 minus 7 upon 4. This is the proper y-intercept form. So now looking at this, we can see what is the coefficient of x. See, this is here, right, like this in bracket, y is equal to mx plus c. Therefore, what is m and what is c? M is whatever is multiplied with x, that is minus 3 upon 4.
Minus 3.4.
And c is the number part, minus 7 upon 4. This is how we have to do it, okay?
the answer for 3-1 is yes.
3-1, yeah. So, yes, find the slopes of both the lines. M1 is this one, minus 3 upon 4. M2 is supposed to be the reciprocal with a different sign. When you find it, it should be 4 upon 3. If you got 4 upon 3, then you're right.
So 3-4 is 0.
Okay, 3-4. Anyone got 3-4? What's the answer? 0. Everyone got this? So they've given 2 points and they've given the slope. So we'll use the slope formula. M is equal to what? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Substitute the values and x will be the missing value. You should get 0. Next, 5-1. Anyone did 5-1? Slope of the line perpendicular to this. First, you'll find the slope of this particular line. That is M1. And then find M2. How many you got? Yes? Is everyone clear how to do the fifth one? Anyone has a doubt?
In fifth question, we have to find the slope of both the first and second one. No?
First question, find the slope of the line which is perpendicular to this. So first you find the slope of this particular line what's given, and then find the slope of a line perpendicular to that slope. So by substituting in the formula, m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So we have m1, we have to find m2.
Yes.
For the fourth one is similar to this. Listen, find the slope of the line which is parallel to this. So just find the slope of this. Any line parallel to this line will have the same slope, right? Okay, 6-2. Anyone did 6-2? Let's see 6-2. Lines this one and this. Okay, both of them have M and M missing, and here N is missing. Okay, so this line and this line are perpendicular to each other. Find the relation connecting M and N. Okay, how do we do this? So they're perpendicular to each other means that slopes are of that formula m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So find their slopes. Means convert these two lines into their y-intercept forms. So the first equation mx plus 3y is equal to minus 7. If you convert it into the y-intercept form, you will make y the subject. So that's minus 7. Write the x term first. So minus mx minus 7. So y is equal to minus mx upon 3 minus 7 upon 3. So therefore, okay. So this is in the form y is equal to mx plus c. What is m? They've used m here. This is also m. It's a little confusing. Both the m's are not same. Okay. All right. Let's call this m1. So what is m1? M1 is minus m3. Is that clear? And the second equation 5x minus ny is equal to 3. For that also you find what is that m2. Okay, do this and tell me what the answer is. Find m2 first. Did you get m2? What is m2? 5 upon n. Did you all get this? Alright, so since these two lines are perpendicular to each other, therefore m1 into m2 will be minus 1. So substitute these two values in this formula. You'll have minus m upon 3 into 5 upon n is equal to minus 1. This is the relation. So you need to convert this formula in such a way that you have m on one side and n on the other side. So let's take 5 upon n on the other side. So since it's,
Simultaneous equation we get.
what's it, Amit?
Simultaneous equation.
Not simultaneous, because you have only one equation. You're just making a relationship between m and n. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll take n terms on that side, m terms on this side. So minus m upon 3 is equal to minus 1, and this 5 will go down, n will go up because it's multiplied with this. So that's what happens right on the other side. So that's into n upon 5. So now you cross multiply, you'll have minus, okay, minus and minus will get cut from both the sides. So you'll have 5m.
Upon 5m is equal to 3n.
Yeah, that's the answer. That's the relationship between m and n. Okay, right, completed. Next is 11th question here.
In 11th question, we have to find only the value of b.
What?
In 11th question, we have to find the value of b only. No?
Yeah, just find the value of b. Just to find the value of b, you have to do a lot. Okay, did you understand the question, everyone? Okay, so draw a diagram, it will help you. The line through A and B is perpendicular to the line, this one. So if this is A and this is B, the line passing A and B is perpendicular to this line, 2x minus 4y is equal to 5. So two lines are there. For the first line, we have 2 points. For the second line, we have the equation. Find the value of B. So B are the coordinates of capital B. Okay, how do we do this?
First, you have to find the coordinates of that p and substitute that points in that equation, and then you will get the.
But how will you find the coordinates of B? How will you find this B, small b?
Line is left.
Okay, let me call black line and red line. Okay, first what you'll do? Find the slope of what? Which line? Black line or red line? Huh? Okay, so since they both are perpendicular to each other, find both their slopes m1 and m2. m1 is the slope of the black line. You will not get the exact slope because there is a missing value. There's a variable. And for the red line, you can find the slope by converting it into the y-intercept form. Okay, once you get both the slopes m1 and m2, you can substitute in the formula m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1, and then find the missing variable, which is b. Is that clear, Aman? Okay, do it all of you. Okay, what is m1, everyone? 2 upon 4. You got the value. There's no b. Oh, you went. Oh, 2 upon 4. B is there, no? Oh,
b
you took.
minus 3. 6.
Okay, you took m1 as. I told m1 as between a and b. Okay, so tell me what is the slope between a and b? B minus 3 upon 6. Whole upon 6 or just? whole upon 6. B minus 3 upon 6. Okay, and what is the
Yes.
other line slope?
2. 2/5.
2 upon 4.
Yes,
1
2/4.
upon 2.
1 upon, okay, so 2 upon 4 or 1 upon 2. Yeah, and then you multiply these two and you get an equation. So b minus 3 upon 6 into 1 upon 2 is equal to minus 1. And then find b. So b minus 3 is equal to minus 12. So b is equal to minus 12 plus 3,
B,
which is minus 9,
B is
right?
equals to minus 9.
Yeah. Okay, let's discuss some questions. How do we do this? How do we do the 18th question? A is equal to this, C is equal to this. These are the vertices of a square ABCD. Find the equations of the diagonals AC and BD. That's the first thing you do is draw a diagram. Say this is A, B, C, D. Whenever you're drawing, the ABCD should go in one order, okay? If I do AB over here and CD over here, is this correct? Or can I do this? A, B, C,
Wrong.
D. No, that's wrong, okay? They should go in one circle. So if A is here, B is here, then this has to be C and this has to be D. So the diagonals will always be AC or BD. Even if I don't have a diagram, when you hear AC, you should know that AC is a diagonal. BD is a diagonal. AB is what? It's a side.
One side.
CD, it's a side. DB,
Side.
diagonal.
Diagonal.
Alright, so we have the coordinates for A, which is 7 minus 2, and C is minus 1 minus 6. These are the vertices, okay. Find the equation of the diagonal AC and BD. AC's equation and BD's equation. Alright, how do we find AC's equation?
The 2-point formula.
Yeah, we have 2 points. So we have the 2 point formula. First find M and then apply in the slope point formula. Next, how do you find the equation of BD? Huh? AC is equal to BD. What, the equations are equal? Or what is equal? Hmm?
They are perpendicular.
Yes, they are perpendicular. That's a property for squares. In squares and in rhombuses, the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so if we have the equation of AC, from the equation we can find the slope by converting it into the y-intercept form. If you have the slope for AC, then we know the slope for BD, perpendicular formula. Alright, so we found one thing, we found the slope of BD. That's not enough to find the equation. How do you find the equation of BD?
We will get the, we can find the points there between, like P.
Okay, with this midpoint you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, we find the midpoint of AC. That midpoint of AC will also be the midpoint of BD, or it is a point on the line BD. So what we need to know is that diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Perpendicular and bisector, both are important for us. Perpendicular so that you know the relationship between the diagonals, and bisector so that you know it's a midpoint. Bisector means cutting into two equal halves, right? Alright, so you'll find the midpoint of AC, which is P, and that point P lies on the line BD. So now for BD, what all do we have? We have a point and the
And
slope.
slope.
So using point
So if
slope
we
formula,
find
we
the
can find
equation.
that equation. So it's a
Yes.
lot of thinking. You saw, it's not just like put the formula and find. So what are the steps here? Tell me. First, how do you find M and how do you find point? Okay. For this line, okay, for the line BD. Alright, for the line BD, how do we find M? Huh? Find m of AC first, and then you can find the m of BD using the m1 into m2 is equal to -1 formula. Next, how do you find the point, any point on the line BD?
Using midpoint formula.
Find midpoint of AC. So the midpoint of AC will be a point on the line BD. Is everyone clear on this? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Find this question in your book. It's not there? Okay, then write on this question. All of you write on this question, you don't have it in your book. Write on this question, draw this diagram and do that for your homework.
Now, can we do the 19th one from your book?
Yeah. We have done a very similar one to this, I think so. Okay.
14C exercise. Same one.
Yeah, median altitude was there, no? Okay, question 19. Let's read it. A, B, and C are the vertices of a triangle ABC. Find the equation of the median of the triangle through A. Let's say that this is your triangle A, B, C. What is this median of the triangle through A? Median means from A to where? To the midpoint of BC. This line passing from A to the midpoint of BC is called the median. Is that clear, everyone? Second question is find the altitude of the triangle through B. Altitude means what?
Height.
So from B, the height is always perpendicular to the
Perpendicular.
opposite side. See, let me draw it from A itself. See, from A, median is here to the midpoint of BC. Altitude is like this, perpendicular to BC. Okay, understand the difference between median and altitude? Median is to the midpoint of BC. Altitude is to the any point where it is perpendicular to BC. So here they're asking what is the altitude of the triangle through B. So from B you have to find the equation of this line which is perpendicular to AC. Finally, the line through C and parallel to AB. Through C and parallel to AB. So something like this. Correct. It's passing through the point C and parallel to AB. Okay, so how do you do the first one? The median of the triangle through A. How do you find the equation of this? Aman? Midpoint of AB.
Sir, we can find the
Point.
coordinates of the midpoint median.
Once she said one word, you're just saying that word without understanding. We find the midpoint of BC. So
BC.
we have this point and we have A also. We have 2 points. Using 2 points, we can find the equation of the line. Next, find the altitude of the triangle through B. So we have the point B. You need to find the altitude, means this equation of this line here. Can we find this point? Can we find this point here? Oh,
No.
okay, then we can't find this
It's
point.
perpendicular. No?
Yeah, since they're perpendicular, we can find the slope of this line. Let's call this BP. AC slope we can find first, then we can find BP slope. So now for the point BP, we have point and slope. So we use a point slope formula. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? For first question, what we're doing is we're using the 2-point formula. For second question, we're using point slope formula. Point slope formula. And third one, equation of the line through C and parallel to AB. Parallel
Can
means
find
what? AB slope, whatever AB slope is, that line slope also will be. The C is not required, right? Why we don't have to care about is passing through C or not passing through C. It's parallel to AB. So any line parallel to AB will have the same slope as AB. Okay. Is everyone clear with this question? Draw the diagram, write down the hints.
So for third question, we'll use point and slope formula.
For the third one.
Yes.
No, why? We have 2 points, no? A and B.
Yes.
So we can find the slope.
So that slope will be equal to the line C plus C parallel slope.
Yes. Two parallel lines have the same slope.
So you have to find the equation of that line also, no?
Yes. Oh yeah, so we need the C also. They're not asking to
Yeah.
find the slope, they're asking to find the equation of the line passing through C. So we got the slope, which is same as AB. And then we need a point also. Then we can use the point slope formula again to find the equation of that line.
So we
So
have C point.
yeah, so C is the point and slope we got from AB slope. Okay, so I've written the
For
answer.
the question, we have to find the equation of A to the
Midpoint here. Let's call this M. So equation of AM. So we have A as a point, M also we have to find the point. So we can use the 2-point formula. Okay. So if you noticed all of these questions, there's a lot of thinking involved. Okay, drawing diagrams, understanding relationship between perpendicular line, everything is there. Okay. So try out all the questions, how many of you can from 14D. There are 25 in my book. In your book, how many questions are there in 25 in 14D? 22? At least 10 to 15 questions you have to solve. Every day you need to solve at least 10 15 questions from now. Like whole of 10th standard, whichever chapter it is. 10 to 15 questions, that way you'll be able to be thorough in maths. Don't come with 7, or 8 or 7, whatever. Okay? 10 minimum, 10 to 15 questions should be solved. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, we'll stop with maths. We'll continue with biology. Yesterday we were doing circulatory system.
Yes, sir. So there will be a test on 14th chapter.
Alright, question 12. Find the equation of the line passing through one point and parallel to x-axis and also parallel to the y-axis. Okay, so what do we know about this line? We have one point, and if the line is parallel to the x-axis, then we have the slope. What's the slope of this line? Yeah, any line parallel to the x-axis, its slope will be 0. In the second case, we have point and the slope. Here, what is the slope? Parallel to the y-axis? Infinity. So that's where you're having a doubt. How to apply that? Correct? Okay. In the first one, you have the point minus 5 comma 7. That one you all got the answer, right? What is the answer for that? Huh? Y is equal to 7. You see, there's no x value itself. How did we get this? So you use the formula. Which formula? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So this is your x1, this is your y1, and this is your m. Put in the formula. All right. So here y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. That's y minus 7 is equal to infinity into x minus x plus 5. What's the answer behind? You check the answer.
X plus 5.
X plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Uh, what is anything divided by infinity? For example, 5 divided by infinity. 5 divided by infinity. Infinity into what is 5? Okay, let's put it another way. What is 5 divided by 0? Huh? 5 divided by 0. 0 into what is 5? 0 into 0 is 5? 0 into infinity is 5, because 0 into anything you will not get any number. Anything you put, you will get 0 only. So you have to put 0 into infinity. So remember this, that is 0 into infinity is 5, or any number. Okay, so that's what we are using here. Infinity into what is 5? Infinity into 0. Infinity into 0 is 5. Is this clear? Infinity into 0 is any number. Infinity into 0 is any number. So here what we are doing is, instead of multiplying infinity with this, we are taking the infinity to the left side. So we'll have y minus 7 divided by infinity is equal to x plus 5. Okay, understood? So what is anything divided by infinity? 0. So that's how we have 0 is equal to x plus 5. That's your equation, right? Yeah. So remember this thing here. Maybe you're a little late. I just explained something. Okay, you all finished writing this? Any other doubt from this chapter? How many you did? 5. So minimum 10 you need to do. 5 will not get you anywhere. Okay, there are 20 sums. Okay, any other question you want me to solve from this? Which one?
17.
Is it this or this?
So 19.
This one I explained yesterday, no? Altitude? You were having doubt yesterday itself. See here. So this question, median and altitude. Find median, equation of median, equation of altitude. What is the meaning of a median? A line joining a vertex to the opposite midpoint. Like AM over here is the median. What is altitude? The height. So if I'm drawing altitude from the point A, where would the altitude be? Yeah, from A till perpendicular to BC. This A to, what is this? If I say P, AP is the altitude. So the question here is altitude of a triangle through B. So that is BP. This is the altitude. How do you find the equation of this altitude? So one thing we have is, we have a point on that line, and what else do we have? We can find the slope. How do we find the slope is, first we find the slope of AC, and then when you have the slope of AC, we can find the slope of BP, because both these lines are perpendicular to each other. So we use the formula m1 into m2 is equal to -1, and you can find the slope of BP. Clear? Okay, any other doubt, anyone?
22nd.
This?
No,
Same? Is it same or different?
no.
Is it same? This is on your? No. Okay, is it here?
Yes.
24.
Okay, 24. 22 in your book. Match the equations A, B, C and D with the lines L1, L2 and L3 and L4 whose graphs are roughly drawn in the given diagram. Okay, this is interesting. So there are 4 lines with 4 equations. You just have to match the following. Okay, now before we do this, if a line is parallel to the x-axis, how will the equation look like? Yeah, it will just have y coordinate. Y is equal to something. Y is equal to 5. That means it's passing through the point 5 on the y-axis. That is called y is equal to 5. See, there's no x value. Okay. Similarly, if a line is parallel to the y-axis, the equation will just have x is equal to something. So if this point over here, suppose it's -1, -2, -3 on the y-axis, then this, sorry, on the x-axis, then this equation will be what? X is equal to -3, because it's passing through the point -3 on the x-axis. Is that clear? Okay. Now in our question here, there's one line that is parallel to the x-axis. So what will the equation of that line be? Y is equal to 2. You see, because there's no x value in that. Okay, so that's D. L1, okay, this line is L1. What is this? L2 or what? L4, okay. L2, L3 and L4. Okay, so L1 is this horizontal line. That one's answer is y is equal to 2. Is that clear? Okay, what about the rest? Now L2 is little difficult. Okay, look at L3. L3 is passing through the origin. You see that? L3 is passing through origin. That means if x value is 0, y value will also be 0. So look at which of these equations you will have x, y both as 0. You can substitute the value 0, 0 in any of the equation and see if it's getting satisfied. In the first equation, if you put 0 in x and 0 in y, LHS is equal to RHS. So it's that. Let's try the other equations. In B, if you put 0, 0, 0 minus 2 into 0 plus 2, that is 2 is equal to 0. No, it's not getting satisfied. Here also, if you put 0 and 0, we're getting 0 is equal to 6. So it's not getting satisfied. Okay, so A is for L3. So what is remaining is B and C. No, yeah, B and C. Now, one line is okay. Now look at theta. If the line is like this, then theta's value will be less than 90, and the slope will be positive. Okay. If the line is like this, then theta will be greater than 90, and the slope will be negative. So the remaining two lines that we have, you see, one is like this and one is like that. So you just have to check their slopes. If the slope is positive, then the line is like this, where theta is less than 90. If the slope is negative, then theta is greater than 90. So you just convert these equations to its y-intercept form, because when you make the y-intercept form, you can find the slope. So tell me the y-intercept form for B. Y is equal to 2x minus 2. So what's the slope over here? 2. Remember y-intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus c. So m is 2 over here. So it's positive slope. So which line is remaining now that is having a positive slope? This one here, L4. Okay, and let's look at C. 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. So if you make 2y the subject, you will have minus 3x plus 6. Did you already see you got a negative value for x? Okay, so here the slope is negative. I mean, it's not over yet. You have to take 2 on that side. You will get minus 3x upon 2 plus 6 upon 2. Okay, anyway, you can see over here the slope is negative. So which line is this representing? L2. Do you all understand how to figure it out? So you're using different things here. All the different logics that we have learned in this chapter to get this. Did anyone finish this 25th one? Do you have this?
No.
Did you all do this? Yes? Okay, let's read this. Find the value of A for which the points A, B and C are collinear. So what's the meaning of collinear points? Points on the same line. Okay. Hence find the equation of a line. How? If you're drawing a diagram, on a line you have the points A, B, C. Did we do this already? Thought I explained this. Okay, anyway. So what do we know about these 3 points? We have to find the value of A, small a, and find the equation of this line. It's one line only, right? AB or BC or AC, it's one line, so it'll have one equation. Right, how do we find A first of all? Nothing? Anyone? Okay, AB, look at AB separately, look at BC separately. And according to our chapter, what is useful is that these two lines are parallel to each other, which means they'll have the same slope. So slope of AB is equal to slope of BC. See, we can get an equation. And in slope formula, that is y1 minus y2 upon, what's the formula? Y2 minus y1, right? Or even if you write y1 minus y2, you'll get the same answer, okay? Because both will come negative and it will get cut off. So y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, for AB you will use the AB values, for BC you will use BC values. Put it in this, you will get a linear equation, solve it and find A. So do that much first. You're all here, right? Anna, you're here? Okay. Okay, did anyone get A? How much? 2. What? No one?
4 or -1.
Two values?
Yeah.
How will you get two values? It's a linear equation, no? Did you do square or what?
Yeah.
Where square?
I got -2 upon 2 minus c is equal to a minus 1 upon 2.
Wait. So A and B. Okay, so this is x1. Okay, y2 is 1 minus 3 upon 2 minus A. Correct? A minus 1 upon 5 minus 2. Correct? So that is minus 2 upon 2 minus A is equal to A minus 1 upon 3. Oh yeah, you get. So it's minus 6 is equal to, cross multiply, you get 2A minus A square. It's binomial into binomial, right? So 2A, okay, let me write it. So 2 minus A into A minus 1. So that's 2A minus 2 into 1, that's minus 2 minus A square plus A. So if you take everything on the left side, you have A square, 2A plus A is 3A. So it's minus 3A on the left side and plus 2 minus 6 is equal to 0. A square minus 3A minus 4 is equal to 0. Is this the equation you got?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So if you split this, it will become minus 4 plus 1. A square minus 4A plus A minus 4 is equal to 0. So A into A minus 4 plus 1 into A minus 4 is equal to 0. So A plus 1 into A minus 4 is equal to 0. So A is equal to minus 1 or 4. Okay, correct. So yeah, A can be two values. It could be minus 1 or it could be plus 4. Like you'll have, if you put A is equal to minus 1, you'll have a line like this. If you put A is equal to 4, you might have another line, but you still get a straight line. Okay, so you have two values for A. Hence find the equation of the line. So you have two lines now. If you use minus 1, you'll have one line. If you use 4, you'll have another line. So you'll also have two equations. When you use minus 1, you'll have one equation. When you use 4, you'll have another equation. Is that clear? Okay, so to find the equation of a line, we can just use any of the 2 points. We don't have to use all the 3 points. We can use the 2-point formula. Just check behind whether they have given one equation or two equations. Huh? You don't have that question. Okay. Okay, do one thing. Take A is equal to 4. And for A is equal to 4, you find the equation of the line. So take 2 points, A3 and 2, 1. So 4, 3 and 2, 1. Okay, these are your 3 points A, B, C. Take any 2 points and find the equation. Okay, look at the 10th question from the next exercise once you're done. Okay, did anyone understand this question? 10. Find the equation of a line passing through the point of intersection and perpendicular to this line. So totally how many lines are there? There's 4 lines. Did you see that? Okay, look. They have given 3 equations. We'll call it equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. The question is find the equation of a fourth line. Understand? So find the equation of a line that's passing through the point of intersection of line 1 and line 2. This is line 1, this is line 2. Okay, I'll call this 1, I'll call this 2. They have given the equation of line 1 and line 2. They are saying find the equation of a line that is passing through what? Yes, this point. It's passing through this point. We'll put a different color. Okay, a red color line. And what else about this line? It's passing through this point and it's perpendicular to another line. So there's another line here, blue color line, perpendicular to that. Is this clear, everyone? So this blue line is the third equation that they've given. So how do you find this equation of this red line? So it's perpendicular to the blue line. That means you can find its slope. If you have the equation of this third line, you can convert this line to the y-intercept form and you can get the slope of the third line. And then if you know the third line's slope, you can find the slope of this line. Okay, so we have slope. What else do we have? Point. So we need the point of intersection of these two lines. How do you find the point of intersection of two equations or two lines? You have the equations of both the lines. You have to find this point of intersection. Huh? How? Yes, simultaneous equation. Okay, that's what we have done in 9th standard. Simultaneous equation. In the beginning of this chapter, I told you, how simultaneous equation is used over here. When you solve simultaneous equation, you get the value of x and y. How is that applicable here? What is that xy? It's the point of intersection of these two lines. See, every line has many points. Right, every line has so many points. xy, 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 xy. This point here will also have an xy which is common for both the lines. And to find that xy, what you just have to do is solve the two equations simultaneously. Is that clear? If you don't know simultaneous equation, how will you find this point of intersection? You'll have to draw the line on a graph, draw this line on a graph and find where these two lines are meeting and find it. Manually you'll have to do it. Okay, so to save you time, the easier way is just simultaneously solve them, you'll get that xy. Okay, just draw this much. This is your hint. You will do this as your homework. Do you have this question in your book?
Yes.
What question number is it? 9th. Okay, mark that as your homework. I'm just going to give you a few questions from this, like 3 or 4 questions, not the whole exercise. These are little difficult ones. Okay, look at this 12th question. O is given, A is given, B is given. They are the vertices of a triangle OAB. Find the equation of median of a triangle OAB through vertex O. Okay, so we have done a very similar question. Right, so median means what? Midpoint. So yeah, so midpoint through vertex O means you have to find the midpoint of AB. So you have 2 points now, the midpoint and the O. Using 2-point formula you can find equation. And next one is equation of the altitude. So point and perpendicular line you can find and do this. Alright, so this 12th one is also your homework. Check in your book, what is the number? Is it 11?
It's not there.
It's not there? Okay, I'll put it on the group. And look at the 13th also. Determine whether the line through points this and this is perpendicular to this line. How will you do that? Yeah, find both their slopes. Here 2-point formula you can find their slope. Here how will you find the slope for the second line? Convert to y-intercept form, find the m, check if they are perpendicular. Next, does line, the second line, bisect the line segment joining the two given points? What is x and y? Does the line, this one, bisect? So this is 1 point, This is the other point. The question is, does this line 3x minus y plus 3x is equal to y plus 1 bisect the line segment? See, this is a line, okay. 3x is equal to y plus 1 is a line. Line means it doesn't have ending. It goes on and on both sides. And the line segment joining these 2 points, it's a line segment. What's the meaning of line segment? It has 2 ends, okay. So this is the line segment. So they're asking you whether this line cuts the line segment into 2 equal halves. Bisects means cuts into 2 equal halves. So how will we do that? Find the midpoint of AB. That's the point of bisecting, right? Find the midpoint using midpoint formula and check if that point lies on the line by substituting the values. Okay. Alright, so this 12 and 13 also, do that as your homework.